here today with Jorg Puhr Westerheide. I hope I said that okay.
You did.
Jorg is our current president, as you know, but we are going to get to know a little more about him today. Jorg, how long have you been a Rotarian?
Well, I first got introduced to Rotary in Germany in the year 2000.
In Germany?
Yes, in Heidelberg.
Were you a Rotarian there?
I was a Rotarian for 1 year, but then I got transferred to a new job. It was so far away and I was so busy, couldn't do it for 4 years until I came to the United States.
That leads me to my next question. What kind of work are you in?
I was managing companies of a large power group called ABB, and was in different areas in this company. And the last one was making the most beautiful boxes for distribution boards in house installation.
Oh, interesting. And you're an engineer by education?
I learned to be an engineer, probably instilled by my dad, who was an engineer, and my grandpa, who was an engineer, and my uncle, who was an engineer. And so I ended up being an engineer. And my dad led me to this kind of from childhood, giving me a set of toys, tools, giving me tasks to build little airplanes, little boats, little everything. And so I was excited about this. And I don't know if you know what an engineer is supposed to do. Do something with nothing, solve a problem, but at lowest cost. And this controlled my life for.
Okay, I like that. Here.
Well, I have an example of what I engineered. You see this little gadget here. This is a European-style circuit breaker. Consists of 44 components. And my task was, at this point, how to have these 44 components assembled automatically.
Can we fast forward how you got to the U.S. and in Rotary again?
Well, how I got to the U.S.
From Heidelberg was your first Rotary experience?
Yes.
Okay.
In 1990, I met my wife Linda, who is from San Francisco, but has family in Germany. And she came to visit, and we got together and met, and then she moved to Germany for 13 years. And she had a daughter here in the Bay Area. And we knew when I would retire, we would move to California. And so in end of 2004, 2005, I retired and we moved here and have been here with the purpose being close to her daughter.
Sure.
Even though I have daughters in Germany and Austria as well. But now I have the long commute before she had the long commute. And we came to Novato in the best of all times, because our daughter here got pregnant with twins. And so the last 5 years we have dealing with these twins.
Yes, I met your twins when they were little. How old are they now?
5.
You did something I thought quite remarkable after the the Butte County fires. And when people needed a transportation in a car, you donated that gorgeous BMW of yours.
Well, it was a pretty good in shape car, but it was an old car.
Yes.
And it was well taken care of, and I came to the conclusion that these people needed transportation, and possibly at no cost.
Yes.
And so I was able at this point to give this car to somebody who needed it through the Clayton Club, who have close connections to the Paradise Rotary Club.
Yes.
And they made sure that, and meanwhile, by the way, they have got together 26 cars for people up there.
Wow.
And all donated to needy people, and I think it's the best way to do it.
Do you have a particular Rotary moment that you would like to share with us?
Oh, there are a number of moments, but one is a very special one for me. It was in the early years over with the Clayton Rotary Club that we were called to an initiative called Miracle Makeover of a local crisis center in Concord. Something like change a building from 4,000 square feet to double the size within 3 days. So the whole tearing down of the old building, you could imagine, first afternoon I came, the old building had disappeared, and we were digging trenches for the plumbing. And while we were doing this, getting later in the evening, from the other side, the concrete came pouring down. And so it was a huge effort in very high speed. Everything has to be done in high speed. And it worked beautifully, and have all these Rotarians, mostly Rotarians, volunteers around, and doing this task was just totally exciting.
Wow.
And the building was properly ready, installed after 3 days.
And magnificent.
It was grand. It was very
Oh,
grand.
that's a great story. Without a bunch of Rotarians.
Yeah.
And a little bit of skill, apparently. You were the engineer.
Well,
One of the many engineers, I'm
There
sure.
were lots of construction skilled people.
Yes.
Doing like the plumbing, the electrician, and everything.
Right.
And
Wow.
and of course the city also played an important role. For example, in the middle of the night they realized this one edge of the building was, I think, 2 feet off the line, and in the night they changed the permit to the new
Wow.
everything else. So it was
Wow.
legal. Everything was legal at the end, and even the 2 feet didn't make a
Wow.
big difference.
What do you do for fun, Jorg? I know that you're an amazing weed puller because you've worked with me at Los Robles.
Actually, I would this question were fun with my first car at university. It was a VW Beetle, and it had the tennis stuff. It has sailing equipment. It has my judo gown. It had, of course, for swimming stuff, rock climbing stuff. So everything I wanted to do I was always ready. And especially later, when I went to basic research at this institute, I was not bound by any timing or schedule. I was free to do my work whenever I felt it, but I also was free to go off to the mountains. Mountains were a big deal for me. I love to go rock climbing. I love to go skiing. It was my secret passion, where I found my ultimate fulfillment in skiing once. Something like, I don't know, 15 years ago, doing heli skiing in the Rockies.
Ooh, nice.
Where we can do 48,000 vertical meters
Wow.
in 6 days. You can imagine what you could do up and down.
Wow.
Totally gorgeous. And today, well, Rotary, housework, cooking. I like cooking, and play golf.
Oh, do you play golf? I didn't know that.
I do play golf, and have all these success stories in golfing. Now you would ask, what?
Do you have a hole-in-one?
I have a hole-in-one, but this is not what I'm talking about. My success story is that I find so many balls which I then can give away to other people.
What are you going to do after your presidential year retires?
A little bit more traveling. We have
Good.
plans to go to Norway end of the year.
Ah, nice.
And see the fjords. And I've been there on business, but not for touring. So looking
Very
forward
nice.
to that.
Well, very good. Well, thank you, Jorg, so much. Nice to get to know you a little better. And you may be next.